Hello, magnificent human beings. My name is Landon with Yoga New Mexico, where we focus on empowerment, alignment, and strength. You are in the right place, capable and strong. What are we going to do today? It is Wednesday's educational piece, and it is all about wide-legged forward bend. Now, if you've heard this called something else, such as standing separate leg stretch, then it's pretty much the exact same thing. There's actually a few different names for this posture. Prasarita Padottanasana, and then also Dandayama Vibhaktapada Paschimottanasana. I know it's a lot of words. So, but it's this traditional one. Wide-legged forward bend. That's what we're doing. So why don't you go ahead and roll out your mat, and I will roll the intro screen. Okay, it is time to look at Prasarita Padottanasana. Now, like I said before, there's a few different names, and then also there's different variations for this pose. You know, A, B, and C, and then, like I said, there's two different names, maybe even three. Nonetheless, your legs are far apart and you are folding forward. And there's a lot of little things to watch out and look for in this posture, so we're going to examine some of them. And in terms of all that semantic stuff, I really think it depends on kind of which lineage you come out of. I do know that in Bikram yoga, standing separate leg stretch, Dandayama Vibhaktapada, Paschimottanasana, that is what they call it. And then lots of other lineage, like if you look, I believe on Yoga Journal, they don't call it that, they call it the wide-legged forward bend. So I mean, it's really the same posture. Now, there are a lot of things to be sure to look out for in this pose. So first of all is the stance, obviously, right? So legs spread pretty far apart. Now, you should look and see that your toes are in one line. So if you're looking at this from up top, don't have, obviously, things back and trying to come down. Just make sure, feet are in one line, heels are in one line, hands on your hips, and then you initiate the movement from your pelvis here. So don't lead with your shoulders, don't lead with anywhere but thinking about hinging, kind of like this steel rod through your hips. You can only hinge from this point. So pelvis, and coming on down. Excellent. So if you're following along, go ahead and bring your hands on the mat here. Now, there is a lots of people are going to be in lots of different places in this posture. Now, for myself, since I have relatively tight hamstrings, my back starts to round just about here, say beyond, just beyond a halfway. Now, some folks, their back won't round at all, and they can bring the crown of their head all the way down to the mat or even further back, which is fine, but wherever you are in your journey, you're aiming to have a nice stretch in your inner thighs and in your hamstrings. So as you come down, here is kind of the rhythm, sort of the pace at which you should go. Because no matter where you are, this way of coming into the posture and coming deeper is going to help you. First of all, it's inhale, lengthen your spine, lengthen your torso. Exhale, hinge at your hips. So you can see I can already start to make some progress if I am inhaling, creating space in my spine. Exhale, hinging at my hips. Inhale, create space. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, create space. Exhale, hinge. And further and further, deeper and deeper. Now, there comes a point where you should choose your own adventure in this posture, whether to let your back round or whether to not let your back round. Some folks, it's helpful to have a block right here so they can take some of the weight into their arms and really be able to relax their hamstrings more, which is fine. And if you want to let your back round, that's fine too. But my suggestion is to pick one. Don't do, kind of a halfway version. If you're seeking to keep your back round so you can really target, tilting that pelvis and stretching out those hamstrings, then do that. Or if you're letting your back round so you can let things soften and relax more, your whole body into the posture, then do that one. Neck, shoulders relax as well, obviously, if you're rounding your back here. Coming on down, rounding, relaxing. Taking a few different variants in this pose. You can grab for those ankles and gently use that arm strength, not by a lot, just by a little bit to help you come down. You can walk your hands to one side. And even taking a shoulder stretch, bringing your hands up behind you and letting those arms dip down. Another good cue to watch out for in this posture is not to be too far back and too far forward. You really want hips stacked in this imaginary line above your heels here. So I think people make the mistake of coming too far back initially, and then as you fold forward, you come too far forward. And the last tip, the last trick I will give you in this posture is how you have your feet placed. So if they're straight, perfectly straight, then you will be fine as you come down. But if you want to get that feeling in your hamstrings just a little bit more, try to pigeon toe your feet in. Not by a lot, just by a little. I think we hear these cues in yoga, such as, engage your pelvic floor, or, bring that knee up or whatever. And then we hold so strongly onto the cue that we start engaging other muscles we don't even need to, right? So when I say pigeon toe your feet in, I'm talking 5 to 10 degrees, very, very slight. And you'll see what I mean as you do this. You'll feel it almost instantly in your hamstrings, just a little bit more. So if your feet are here, then try bringing them in just a little bit, not a lot, just a little, and then that will really start to target those hamstrings as well. It's funny, those postures where you say, do this or do this, and then I'll walk around the room and I'll see people with their feet, trying to bring them in as much as they can because they think, oh, pigeon toe your feet, and now you're torquing your ankles. And so the cues are a guide. They're not the most written in stone, must do, do or die thing ever. So again, 5 to 10 degrees, just bring them in just a little bit. And I think that will help the feeling in your hamstrings. So that's it. That's basically your wide-legged forward bend, standing separate leg stretch, whichever name you would like to call this posture. Thank you so much for being here today. Go ahead, leave a comment below, a thumbs up, a like, whatever you wish. I would greatly appreciate it. And from my heart to all of yours, thank you guys, and namaste.